What's going on, Sasha Love? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, man. This is another episode of TMAX Network. We are here live in effect, and tonight this is a special one for me, for all of us, everybody watching and everybody a part of the live stream. We have an opportunity to get a chance to interview one of my brothers right here from my city on the story of his daughter, and I'm gonna let him do all the talking about her. We're gonna keep her name alive, not only tonight but every day going forward. Justice for Genesis. And this is one of the ones where we really want to tap into the issues in our community, the things that sets us apart from everyone else, and makes it a opportunity that we get to shed some light on situations that happen daily, day in and day out, not only in our community here, but in North Carolina and also across the whole nation. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive right into it. We're going to start this live stream right now. My co-host, Miss Sasha Love, she may be having technical difficulties, but we're going to do it like this. Nia, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Can't complain. If you can, will you help me out real quick and introduce a young man to the live stream, and we get a chance to introduce him to our TMAX Network family? Is that okay?
Sure.
All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna bring up a young man right here out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'll just introduce him as Fawn Dockery, the father of Genesis Dockery. Hey, Fawn, my brother.
What's going on, my brother? How y'all doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Hey, listen, bro. Do me one favor so we can make sure we get you full screen. Turn your camera sideways for me, real quick. Boom. There you go. All right, we got you in the screen. Okay. All right. Hey, do me a favor. Shift over to block that light behind you, and then we're set to go. All right. There you go. Thank you, sir. All right, man. I got my co-host back, Miss Sasha Love.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, good.
Good.
All right, man. Hey, listen, we're gonna let you guys get more acquainted. Fawn, welcome to the live stream. Okay. Thank you for not only taking the time out to talk to TMAX Network, but thank you also for doing it so late at night, short notice. I know when I reached out, we supposed to done this interview a long time ago, brother. But like you and I both know and both say, it's God's time and not ours.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead on and introduce yourself to the panel and those that's watching, and tell them a little bit who you are. We're gonna get into the story of Genesis, and we're gonna show some beautiful pictures and video footage from that day. And you feel free to talk about that day as you want to. We're gonna ask some questions just to get an update of current day, and anything that you don't want to talk about, bro, we get it and we understand. Okay, but I know you personally, so I know you on a journey for justice for Genesis. So there's not much that you don't discuss. Okay, so tell the people who you are. They know you from Fayetteville, North Carolina, but what you got going on, and why are we here?
So my name is Fawn Dockery. I am the father of Genesis and Amara Dockery, husband of Kimberly Dockery. I am the president of the Live Like Genesis Project. I'm a board member for the North Carolina Victim Assistance Network, and I'm a community advocate and activist for safe gun storage, gun violence awareness, and really just violence intervention. So that's kind of where I am and who I am right now. Yeah.
All righty then. So listen, man. We got a chance to, while we have you here, we want to go ahead and make it official to say, brother, you are welcome over here at Max Network anytime. You can anything that you need to push for your calls. We're here, right here with you, hand in hand. So just to get started, and we can get some other people on the panel. I have my man D also on as well. This is the vice president of TMAX Network. D, this is my man Fawn Dockery, and we're looking for Jackie and Sasha to come back on with us. Jackie's here. Sasha should be here soon. Jackie, this is Mr. Fawn Dockery. You've heard a little bit about him, but as soon as we go forward, I think we'll know exactly what he's standing for in 2025 going forward. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on and put it up on the screen. This is Justice for Genesis, Genesis Dockery, and just a little backdrop of what I do know and how things came about. What I do know is that there was a day when your whole world changed. And brother, every day that I see you on Facebook, every day that I see you out in public, you have a smile on your face and a humbleness about your soul, but I see you in pain. I see you in pain a lot, but your tears don't bring sob and sorrow. It brings all of the great memories back that you had. And I'm a father as well as D down here at the bottom, and every last one of us on the panel are parents. So from one father to another, my brother, I really feel your pain. I cannot understand or even say that I can even begin to know what you're going through. But with that being said, Justice for Genesis, tell us a little bit about after that day. When did you put, because we're going to go back to that day, but when did you put together, was it day one or was it after everything kind of got back to normal as you know it going forward? But like, when did you put this foundation together and this noble cause?
It was actually a year later. So, I took some time to prioritize my mental health, my other daughter, Mara's mental health, my wife's mental health, and really kind of step away and begin to really educate myself and put myself in a position to pivot out of all of this pain and into some purpose. And it took some time away from the screen and away from the public to be able to actually put myself in environments and in circumstances that I could continue to educate myself and do that in a mentally healthy way. So a year later, we started the Live Like Genesis project. And we chose as a family. Like, I didn't just come up with that myself. I talked with my daughter and my wife about it. And we decided that purpose was going to be our future, not just pain.
Okay, so hey, listen, purpose was going to be your future, not just pain. So, like, you were aware of what the future may look like and who you needed to be for your family going forward. So, tell us a little bit about how is it day to day without Genesis and with your wife, and how you pronounce her name?
Amara.
Oh, got you. So tell us what that looks like going forward as a father, missing one, but still have those loved ones to take care of.
Man, it's rough, man. And this is what I always tell people. A lot of people get to see the surface of it. They get to see what I share through Painful but Possible, but the daily, it's the small whispers. It's the empty fourth chair at the table. It's the moments where Amara breaks down because she misses her sister and calls her protector, and it's my wife walking by that room, a whole room in the house that we don't even go into now, and we left it exactly as it was. It's those moments, man, they're incredibly difficult, man, but we've leaned into our faith, we've leaned into each other, and we're present in those moments. We don't do avoidance. Avoidance don't heal. Avoidance don't grow. Avoidance don't develop. And grief is one of those things that if you don't address it, And if you don't learn to be present in it, and
Mhm.
when I say that, I mean go get help. Get a small circle of people around you that will allow you to vent and be able to recognize, like you said, hey, I see you smiling, I see you pushing, but I also see that pain too. And just somebody being able to recognize that, it helps, man, in times, and it incredibly does. So the day to day is rough, man. Picking up one, dropping off one instead of two is difficult.
Man, I only can imagine. So I'm gonna take a shift in the conversation right now because you got so much to offer, bro. Like not even just through your situation, but like through your situation after that day, like who you had to become as the father and a husband and the leader of a household. That is something that the world needs to hear over and over and over again because a lot of us men, we complain about simple stuff of like what we have to do as men, but I think a transition like that is something that, man, you got to be that one. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a half stepper. You can't be somebody that's swaying in the wind. You got to stand with 10 toes down and pull yourself up literally by your bootstraps. So, man, I commend you on that, bro. Like, that's deep. So I'm gonna open the panel up for a little bit of questions before we show some of the content that we had to show. So I'm gonna start with you, Nia. Anything that you want to ask on, knowing the little bit that you know so far?
Yeah, I do want to talk about or ask about, you know how we all, you feel like I don't know if you feel like this, we all have a purpose in life, right? And a lot of the times the things that we're most passionate about is brought upon by our trauma. So have you ever asked yourself, why did this have to happen to me in my family to be the example of how we should be protecting our children and just watching over what they're doing in our communities?
Yeah, yeah, and I'll say specifically because one thing that I talk about and I talk about often is that in grief, because grief is such an emotional roller coaster, um, what you have not addressed in your trauma, and I'm 40 years old, and I am over the past 2 years, I have been also dealing with trauma from my childhood. Because in my grief, as I learn to address my grief, it's teaching me how to be present and giving me the opportunities to be present in moments for healing in places that I ignored growing up. So as I have asked that question over and over, like, why us? Why now? Like, she was 4 days away from her ninth birthday. Yes, I asked why. In UNC Chapel Hill, July 25th, she was shot. We sat in Chapel Hill praying for 2 days.
Mm.
And it got to a point that Friday night, it got to a point where we just said it, me and my wife, like, hey, God, I don't know what your turnout is going to be here. And as much as we serve, as much as we pray, as much as we gather, as much as we serve, we want it to be in our favor. But God, if that's not your will, then I know something else is. And whatever that is, we're going to lean into it no matter how much it hurts or how much it drags out. We're trusting at this point that you're with us beyond any comprehension. And if you're not, then we're going to learn. But we're putting all our chips in that boat that you are. So yes, I definitely have.
And you mentioned weeding out the comprehension. How important do you think that is? Because instead of you leaving everything to your own understanding and you looking at God's biggest plan, a lot of people may have a hard time in trusting that. Like, how do you think you're getting through that?
The real answer is understanding that in spite of how out of control this situation feels, God is still in control. And to trust that is to respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
And that response can't be more chaos. It can't be hiding.
Right.
You know, because when we look at Yeshua, he didn't hide from things. He addressed them head on, and he empowered us to do such. And what I've learned about this is how easy it is to go down that comprehension rabbit hole. How easy it is for me to go sit on my back porch or my backyard around my fire pit and start winding around what I could have did different and what didn't happen, and how quick I'll get exhausted and fall into that anger pool. And I've done it. I'm not speaking about something I read in a book. I've been in that place, and it's not healthy, and it's not helpful to no one, because it takes me out of the equation, and I don't want that. And my family don't need that.
Sorry, we can't hear you, TKO. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got you. I said I was telling Sasha welcome back for the moment, but she dropped back out. But anyway, we're gonna go and move on with no malice about these technical difficulties that we're going through. So I heard everything that Fawn just said. We're gonna go ahead on and get into some content so y'all can get a real backdrop to this story. I wanted y'all to meet the man first before we delve into his personal information and situation, but he's gonna give us a little bit more clarity after we play this short video clip.
July 25th, I dropped my daughters off to this babysitter's house, and I went to work.
What's the address of the emergency?
Hey, I need a Mercedes drive, and I need an ambulance here now.
Okay, what's
my son I didn't know my son brought a gun home from my dad's house, and it fell out of the closet, and it shot the little girl that I'm babysitting.
Okay.
I need an ambulance now.
Okay, so we're going to get you help out there, okay? Is she breathing?
Yes. Please hurry.
Yes, ma'am, they're already coming,
oh,
okay?
God. Genesis, baby. Genesis.
9-year-old girl is in the hospital after being shot.
An 8-year-old girl is fighting for her life. A 3-year-old boy accidentally shot and killed himself last night.
Guns kill more kids in the U.S. than any other cause.
More than cancer, and now more than motor vehicle crashes.
Kids in North Carolina are 51% more likely to die from guns compared to the national average.
She's not gonna be in that room when I go check on her. And it's hard. It's hard to accept.
All of them could have been prevented. That's the thing. All of them could have been prevented.
So with us grieving,
I talked to families impacted by gun violence and experts across the state. They say there's a clear way to save kids.
I am not anti-gun by far. However, if this gun is where it should be at, secured in a safe,
we're not sitting here today.
Welcome back to my channel. Before you get started, click that subscribe button. Today we're going to be doing like a dance. I love to get my mom famous on YouTube. I'm on TikTok, so guys, follow my mom on TikTok, okay? Good. Just get 2,000 followers. Please, thank you, okay?
Tell me about Genesis. What was she like?
She was bubbly. She smiled. Oh my God, her smile.
I will bless you and make your name great.
She loved everybody. She loved TikTok. She loved to do dances on TikTok.
If you're having a bad day, Genesis is gonna make you laugh.
Who she was in spirit really lit up the room, no matter where she was. And that was my Genesis. That was her.
Oh, Jesus, okay. Oh, Jesus, I know it's a picture, okay.
It's a big picture of my baby, that beautiful smile.
All right, man. Hey, look, we're gonna pause right there for a minute. And I think he might have had a situation like Sasha, and he dropped out, but he'll come right back in. There you go. Hey, Fawn, what's up, brother? Hey, yeah, nah, you good, man. All right, I think that might be Fawn. That might be your phone. Hold on one second. Let me unmute real quick. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. All right, got you. So tell us about that day. Now that we've had a chance to see the opening to the documentary, tell us about that day and what was going through your mind when you received that phone call.
So, I dropped my normal routine. I took my two little girls over to the babysitter's house, and I dropped them off. Told them I love them. They went in the house. I went to work. Not even 30 between 20 and 30 minutes later, I received a frantic phone call from the babysitter, and she's screaming, and I'm like, okay, whatever this is, it ain't good. I immediately go into like a control mode because I know this is bad, whatever it is. And she tells me that her son brought a gun back from her dad's house, and she was outside and she didn't know, and I heard my daughter was shot. So I get up, I leave work. I'm in the car, I'm talking to her. Not even 3 minutes, I don't even want to say it was that long into the conversation. I'm listening, I'm like, I don't hear ambulance or fire trucks or nothing. So I asked her, like, hey, you called the ambulance? She was like, no, I called you first. I'm like, get off the phone and save my daughter's life. What are you doing? Like, so at this point, she hang up with me. I call my wife and tell my wife she's headed that way. We ended up having to turn around because when they finally got there, they took her to Cape Fear Valley. This whole time, the shock and the numbness is hitting, but at the same time, because I've been through so much in my life, I knew that I could immediately make this 100,000 times worse. And my whole thought was what my wife was going through in her head and what my other daughter had seen. This happened in front of Amara. And one of our close friends, she went and picked Amara up. She called us, hey, I got Amara. I was like, well, please just keep her. We're going to get to this hospital, try to figure out what's going on. We go there. They end up medevacing her to Chapel Hill. My wife went with her. And I went and got a bag, went and saw Amara. And I went up that evening. But my thing was the shock of it. Like, I gotta wake up. This ain't real. Like, and I'll be honest. Even in my therapy now, it's hard recalling the exact things from that day, just because it was so much happening, and I was trying to stay calm and in as much control as I could have in that moment. So I didn't make it worse because I already knew my wife was going to be frantic, and as should have been. And I didn't know the state of my daughter at the moment I had gotten the call, but I didn't want her to be any more frantic than she already was. And at the time, I didn't know she had seen all of this until later. But I just knew as a father, I didn't want her to be any worse by her seeing me all kinds of ways. So, you know, the 25th, that evening, we go up to Chapel Hill, and my wife, the school principal, he actually drove me up there. And man, we just started praying. Like, we just prayed and cried and prayed and cried for 2 days until that last surgeon came in and told us, hey, we got 3 last tests that we can do, and there's no response here, then it's just a matter of how long you want to keep her in this state. And he came back, and that he came back that last time and told us that last test, she wasn't responsive. So they talked with us about what that would look like if we were to keep her in that state, and that she was brain dead. And I couldn't keep her like that, man. So the 27th, we held her hand and talked with her and gave her our goodbyes, man. And unfortunately, extremely unfortunately, at the same time, it hit me that no arrest was made. And I don't know how well y'all listened to the beginning of that documentary, but you heard 2 different stories from the babysitter. That was just 2 of them. There's a third story. But in my head, I'm saying we carted my daughter's body out of that house and nobody went for questioning, investigating, nothing for 2.5 weeks. So we planned my daughter's funeral and nobody was put in cuffs. Nobody was taken downtown. The whole time we're planning my daughter's funeral. To this day, I don't even know that composure, that I tell people that won't of me, bro. Like when I talk about it and I think about how easily I could have went so many different directions, that composure was not of myself. That composure was the grounding I had around me, allowing me to vent, because I had my brothers around me, allowing me to talk to them about stuff and allowing me to just cry and just get my anger out, and it won't publicly visible. I won't being talked about for it. They were just allowing me to do it, and it allowed me to stay composed as much as I could for what we were dealing with in those moments.
Man, listen, I like I said from the beginning, bro, I only can imagine that. Thank you so much for holding it, staying strong up here. I'm sure anytime that you go and talk about Genesis and that day or things like that, it's gonna bring back those same sentiments in your heart, bro. So like stay strong, bro, not just up here, but like you've been doing. I mean, I see all phases of Fawn because you wear your heart on your sleeve and you put it out there, and you are focused on helping others too through your tragedy. So man, that's a big one up for you, bro. I appreciate that. For me as a father and a parent, we're gonna bring this documentary right back. We got a lot to cover, so we're gonna go ahead on and jump right back into it.
Dawn and Kimberly Dockery's 8-year-old daughter Genesis had a built-in best friend, her 5-year-old sister Amara.
And they were 2 peas in a pod, everywhere together.
Say Jesus loves you.
Jesus loves you.
Say Jesus loves you, nuts.
Her and her sister, 2 little angels. 2 little angels. Well, I'm Gilbert Bays, and I'm the Fayetteville reporter for WREL, and have been here for more than 40 years.
Gilbert didn't know the Dockery family until he started covering what happened on July 25th. Fawn dropped his girls off at their babysitter's house in Fayetteville.
And It's something he had done on sporadically on other occasions, into a safe environment. Never had any mention from his daughter, from Genesis or her sister, that something was not right at this house.
Can y'all
They
hear
looked
it?
forward to going there.
Or is it
They
just
looked
me?
forward to it.
Okay.
He had no reason to believe on this particular day that anything was being any different. And unfortunately, he was wrong.
A short time after drop-off, Fawn received a frantic call from the babysitter.
This babysitter telling me, screaming and crying that she didn't know. And I'm like, you didn't know what? And Genesis has been shot. Hey, I don't hear no sirens. Where are the fire department sirens or ambulances? So I asked her, hey, have you called the ambulance? And she said, no, I called you. I said, get off the phone with me and save my daughter's life.
What's the address of the emergency?
The babysitter called 911 and told the operator what she said happened at the beginning of the call.
I didn't know my son brought a gun home from my dad's house and it fell out of the closet and it shot the little girl that I'm babysitting.
And again.
All right, Fawn. So right there, bro, I want to stop it right there. Hold up. I know it might be real choppy. Can you hear me now with no background? Okay, thanks, D. So right there, as I was looking at the documentary the first time, and she said her son brought the gun home from her dad's house. And I think at this part of the documentary, she explained it fell out of the closet. Okay. Now I'll give you an opportunity to talk on that, just that part alone. What she said, what you believe, and I know in the documentary you said something about, because I'm a gun owner, and you know that as well. So I get your point. A fallen weapon discharge, and from that angle, all that. But I'll let you talk about it. So tell us, how you felt about hearing what she said and what you believe.
So, thankfully, I was able to, through some community partners and some people in my circle, I was able to not really take off, but be able to sit to the side, an angry father, and try to put on this hat of understanding and educating myself about what was actually happening. And I stayed involved in the entire process. And what I learned was the sheriff tested that theory 100 times, and the gun never went off. They also verified that he did pull the trigger. Now, I, at this point, am looking for some complaints from the sheriff's department that line up with that evidence and those findings. And unfortunately, they didn't come that way. There's some other contributing factors here that we later learned about the gun owner.
Can you hear me, bro? I don't mean to cut you off, man, but I want you to say it one more time. So you said that they found out that he pulled the trigger. Okay.
And we gun owners. We know
there. Let me know what that looks like.
GSR don't lie. And GSR was found. And I asked, here's the thing, I asked several times over, and no one answered me. No one answered me for the longest time until I sat down with the DA, and they just couldn't dismiss me no more at that point. And the answer was yes. It came back positive. I mean, at this point, I don't know what else you need as far as clarity on the decisions that happened that day, especially including the background that we found. And I don't know if it came up in the documentary yet, but this young man's proclivity to be around weapons, and I ain't talking about safely, and advertise that on social media. The witnesses that come forward that said he threatened their little girls. I mean, it is a big bag of evidence here that ended up leading to probation for 1 year, and it's over with. And nothing else happened to no one else. No investigation or nothing.
Man, so that part is about to come up in the documentary. So y'all hold on, man. We're gonna get through this and keep lining this thing out because that's new information to me, bro. I did not know. From the documentary, it just kept alluding to the fact that it fell out of the closet. You did speak your mind up there, and you knew what you were talking about as well, from a gun falling to discharging and angles and everything. So we're gonna get back into the documentary, y'all. Y'all hold on, man. Everybody watching out there on Facebook, everybody on YouTube, we appreciate your patience. We are having a little technical difficulties, but it's okay. We're gonna get through it. Here's the next part of the video.
At the very end of the call, right before she hung up,
My son is the one that brought it home, and I didn't know.
Genesis was shot in the head. The 8-year-old was rushed to the hospital.
She got shot on July 25th, and she passed away on July the 27th. And she was just 4 days, short of her 9th birthday.
One of the hardest things, and it's still hard, is accepting that it's real.
Find out how this happened, who's responsible. And it wasn't coming to light very quickly. And then it was revealed to him that the son of the mother that he trusted came to the home with a gun from his grandfather, who somehow knew the combination to the safe and got into the safe and brought the weapon over and was either showing it or somehow the weapon went off.
I was told that this 11-year-old kid went to her dad's house, and brought a gun back that supposedly it fell off of a shelf and went off and shot my daughter.
Is that what you think happened?
No, I do not.
What do you think happened?
I think he pulled the trigger. Because there's no way that grandfather, as a gun owner, can tell me he believes that a gun fell and went off, and the trajectory of that bullet came from falling from the ground. There's no way.
One thing that we uncovered, we were able to find a picture of the 11-year-old, who's now is 12, by the way, on the internet, brandishing a weapon.
And there are several videos circulating of this young juvenile holding a weapon, very cavalier.
Fawn believes the picture and videos show the 11-year-old had a fascination with guns, and his family knew and did nothing.
Now, we're being told that the picture that we have of the child on the internet was a BB gun. But the BB gun is now turned into a real gun, and an 8-year-old is dead.
Weeks after Genesis died, there was no one in custody.
Beyond the actual death of my daughter, that is the most tragic part of this to me and my family, that an 8-year-old child's life can be taken and nobody be put into custody. Not the babysitter who should have been supervising, not the gun owner who should have been responsible and knew where his gun was, and not the shooter himself. Nobody was put in custody.
The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office eventually submitted a complaint with the Division of Juvenile Justice, alleging 2 counts of larceny of a firearm and 1 count of manslaughter were warranted against the 11-year-old. He was in juvenile custody until a judge ordered him released to a family member.
We're in the front of the courthouse and the Sheriff's Department, Cumberland County.
Fawn attended every hearing.
I have to go in this courtroom and look at this young man, see his mom and his grandfather the babysitter and the gun owner, and hear her pathetic excuses. Constantly, they walk out of the courtroom just like me, like nothing took place, like they have no accountability, like my child wasn't killed at their residence by his gun.
The 11-year-old entered the juvenile equivalent of a guilty plea and was placed on probation. No charges have been filed against his mother or grandfather.
I want accountability.
So now he has a daughter who is dead and no one being held accountable. And that's the heartbreak of this story for him.
And a daughter who witnessed it.
Absolutely. What a difficult conversation to have.
Beyond everybody in that house, she is a witness to the exact events of that day.
How do you explain that your sister's not coming back?
Sisters who Gilbert had unknowingly met before. After covering the story, he was sent a video from a neighbor from Halloween night in 2022, when Jenesis and Amara went trick-or-treating at his house.
A friend of the family shot that footage and sent it to him. And as soon as I saw it, I remembered how cute she was.
This is a still picture of that moment.
And I don't know if I had my crazy costume on, like the Martians were taking me away. I think that may have been the costume that I had on. And she was just so innocent and so polite and thankful for the candy. Never thought that I would do a story on her, and this was the last time I was going to see her alive.
I have to ask.
All right, bro. That was Gilbert Bays with WRL, and take us to the moment where, like you said, you're going in and out of court, and there's no. Is it remorse that you see from them truly, or is it just like nonchalant?
Nonchalant. Can you hear me? Nonchalant. Easy. I went in and out of court for maybe 2 months. Nonchalant. Zero remorse.
Hey, hold on one second, Fawn. Is he coming in distorted to y'all? Okay, hey, Fawn, do me 1 second, man. Do me one huge favor. Drop out of the stream and come back into the link real quick.
No, you just got to reposition his phone.
I'm gonna take him out the screen and he's gonna come back in. So, man, how y'all doing?
You want the truth, or you want the truth?
I mean, I know. I'm just trying to see where y'all at with this because it just got started, and I want to make sure everybody's good.
Jackie, go ahead and answer the question.
I have the chills. Like, I'm in
Say that one
disbelief.
more time, D.
Well, I just tossed it up to Jackie to go ahead and answer before I say anything.
Okay, go ahead, Jackie. You good?
I'm in chills. I'm just in disbelief. The lies of it fell to the ground, and that's how that happened. How it was an 11-year-old boy. The pictures, it's just all just like a lot of WTF. Like, how? How did we get here?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I have a million to one questions. Like, people keep secrets. You know the behaviors of the child. You knew he was he was infatuated with guns, right? And you're about to babysit. These children weren't even at their own home. And baby girl, I wouldn't even think it's fair to ask her what did you see happen to your sister? Now, that's not even a fair question. So when it came down to anyone being accountable for it, the part where they didn't even call the ambulance first, what was up with that? Like, that's the number one thing, because if I called you and something tragic like that happened, I would want to give you good news. Your baby is being taken care of. Something tragically just happened. Like, why wasn't the first instinct to call for help? Because you're trying to cover up neglect. You're trying to cover up what you already know was going on. So nah. And the fact that they in the courthouse, you said they have a nonchalant attitude. They have to. It's what they call a saving face. Some people, they don't have what we call empathy for others. They have what they call cover yourself. And that's the part where I'm like, nah, because people knew. People, as much as people share information, people can tell you what's going on in so-and-so house. They don't even live there. So you trying to tell me nobody had a red flag, like, oh, that boy over there, the one that like to play with guns, he there. No. So
30 minutes after you dropped him off too, like, was that planned? Like, he knew he was going to do that? You said 30 minutes after you dropped her off.
Man, he could have just been having a bad day. He could have some mental things going on, and having a bad day. And he said, you know what? I'm gonna take it out on her because she's too happy for me. Stuff like that. Just
that little motherfucker with no bad day. Is being exactly what nobody wants to fucking call him, a juvenile fucking delinquent. Yep. Let's be honest about this shit. Like, let's be honest. Let's talk about the consistency and failure of the fucking matter. Cumberland County, you fucking failed, you piss poor ass bastard. To sit here and act like people don't have enough good common goddamn sense to realize ain't no gun just fucking fall out no closet without proper trajectory or point of entry of hitting somebody in a certain dynamic. Fuck you, you piss poor ass little bitches. Now we got to realize the fucking robbery that we sit up here and watching a reporter who realized I met this child in 2020 on a Halloween during one of the most crucial times in life when we had to be separated and all this shit. Now we trying to get back to some status of actually interacting and integrating with one another. Never, partly, the man had to hold himself together because people truly genuinely love children. Let's talk about not just from that moment. Let's express the fact that you fucking rob people and so many other fucking dynamics that is sad, because he's left with a daughter who is going to eventually grow up, find a mate, and her sister isn't going to be present on the day of her wedding. When she takes that first dance with her father, and she's not there to look over and glance at her sister, her best friend, that was a gift from God. But you know what? Let me tone down just a tad bit, because God, I hear you. I apologize. Blessings aren't always beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
They are, but not to the eye. Because God being omnipresent, omnivoid, we can't fathom how the stretch of this may work out for somebody else. We can't fathom how it work out for even in our own dynamics of this. So let me not even get too irrational about saying certain things, but I am going to call negligence on Cumberland County. I am going to call negligence on I know and experienced in my own life where somebody did something heinous and had to be also a repeat offensive of such nature, that they didn't move on it until months later. So I understand exactly that point of clarity as to where is the action. Because you're not going to bring my baby back. You need to have a solid end result because this has been known to be a problem with this little miscreant.
Why wasn't everyone in the house apprehended? I'm talking about like go to certain neighborhoods. Everyone in the house would have been apprehended. So many questions, especially if you got tape, anything, crime scene, everybody go. You know, and his hands would have been tested for the right then and there. Right? What happened to that? What happened to that? And well, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, everyone was caught up in the moment of her survival. Maybe that was the focus, you know? And because sometimes we can't always ask why. We just focus on the outcome that we wish to have, which is, you know, her survival. So maybe that's what happened. I can't say for sure, but other than that, I'm looking at they ready to come through your door. Soon, I'm talking about foot in, grabbing everybody out the house. Somebody got to pay. And it could just be for a parking ticket. And they ready to ram through your stuff. So with that, I don't get it. What's the loose nut? What's the loose screw? What's being covered up here? Because maybe someone has already called the police on him in that neighborhood for running around even with a BB gun. You know, and nobody's called the police when you heard a shot go off. Nobody. Let shots go off around here. Somebody calling the police. We got some folks, you know, ride up and down the block. If you standing outside looking suspicious, you getting pulled over. So what happened?
Negligence. Negligence on top of negligence on top of negligence. We talked about the safe being opened by this little boy. You don't dust the fucking safe for fingerprints to prove that it was actually him that would be the last one to touch it, and not to make sure that it wasn't this sorry ass grandfather that could have possibly handed it to him. Negligence. All of it.
I had somebody tell me one time when my car was broken into, and I said, y'all can't dust for prints. They told me you watch too much CSI. You know that? That's not what we do here. Do you have any other witnesses?
Because vehicle break-in is something that they don't really care about anymore. But I'm gonna tell you like this: when it comes to this nature, that was negligence beyond negligence.
Yeah.
And the fact is, you could have dusted that damn safe. It was stationary. It was in the confines of a residence, of a family member to another family member. So I'm with you all the way, Ned. But what I'm not gonna let slip out is you were not doing your due diligence, Cumberland County.
Correct.
You failed. Not only did you fail this family, you failed the whole restitution of the community that which you surrounded in.
Yeah.
I would encourage Cumberland County citizens to not trust them whatsoever. Call if you have to, because that's what you have to do. But understand this: do not give them any leeway if you come into a situation of any magnitude. Do not.
What's the reputation of the family? How did you meet these people? Who are they?
So, the babysitter, I actually went to school with her. We graduated, life separated. We came back around. I was doing some sports training, and I was like, man, I need a babysitter for my girls. I don't want them out here in this heat all day. And she reached out to me and was like, hey, you know, I got some kids from social services I watch already. I got my kids. It's a safe environment. I went into the home. My wife went into the home. I met all the kids except for that little boy. I never met that little boy. I never saw him until the picture of him holding that gun came out after he had did what he did. So that was my first time ever seeing him. Then I find out that he's been going between custody with the grandfather, who's the gun owner, and the mama. Daddy's not present, and the grandfather is retired sheriff. There it is. Yeah, that's the cover. That's the cover.
I was going to allude to that because I come from a family.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm
no,
sorry.
I was
Go
going to
ahead, D.
allude to
No,
that.
go on, do your thing.
No, I was going to allude to that because I come from a family of law enforcement. Just straight up from a godfather being constable of precinct 2 in Fort Bend County, to an uncle being the head of internal affairs at HPD, to another uncle being a lieutenant, to a father being the chief of police. So yeah, I could see why a lot of laziness came about through the good old buddy system. You wiped my back because I'm gonna wipe your back because you wiped my back. Getting called out all the time, and this is now coming full frontal, bro. I don't fear shit. I don't have to report to nobody but God. That's how I live my life every day. I ain't got to report to nobody but God. And this is it. This so be it. But at the end of the day, on record, I was with him and he was with me. And there was not no decision of, oh, I don't know. No, this is just clearly those who are not with God. That's all it really comes down to, man. And I apologize for my anger because children should not face this magnitude of uncertainty. There is absolutely no ploy in life where you can make this shit make sense to anybody when it's already been proven that the most heinous of criminals will protect the child before they protect an adult. So how is it that these people who are set to be in position don't do such things? Granted, you can't do nothing about the crime that had happened. But again, you could have turned in and did the right thing for the right reason. How do you surmise that, hey, a life of a child that's, 4 days away from her ninth birthday, 12 years from her 21st birthday, won't get to do the 5th grade graduation, the 8th grade graduation, the junior prom, the senior prom, the first day of college, the graduation of college, the potential of earning a master's or PhD. How do you value that and say a year of probation?
So, Fawn, is that all the young man got?
Yes, that was it. He got 2 larceny charges from his grandfather. His grandfather charged him with larceny.
I guess on the other end, not giving him the highlight. I mean, he's still a child too. Not giving him the highlight, but like the fact that your daughter spread so much light in the world, and you have a live like Genesis. So going on to that aspect, and you talk about, how you didn't feel like it was you holding your composure. Like, God was in the midst. What do you feel that God is trying to bring about out of you guys now?
That's good. We've all, and when I say all, I mean all 3 of us, even my daughter, who she just turned 8 this past Friday. We have all endowed on a journey of birthing, like I said, purpose through our pain, through advocacy, through activism. We got a law up in the Senate right now. It didn't pass this last session. We got to go back to the table and do some reviewing on it. The Genesis Firearm Accountability Act, to report stolen or lost firearms. Um, and when we talk about that, I always tell people it's just a common sense. It ain't nothing egregious. It ain't nothing against the Second Amendment. And that's one thing that we stand on from day one. We've said that, and you can go back and look at any video we have on the internet. There's no point that we come against the Second Amendment. But what we do stand on is responsibility and accountability. Like, and not just standing on that, we travel the state speaking with law enforcement, legislators, governors, and advocating and training and trying to teach people about safe gun storage. We've given away hundreds of gun locks, hundreds of information to parents. We've had conversations all over this state, and we're going to continue because part of that purpose is making people aware of how preventable our situation was and just how they can prevent situations like this going forward.
So my question to you, Fawn, is this: in this time, been 2 years, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What have you learned about yourself in these past 2 years?
About
What
myself?
have you learned about yourself, even from the time of the moment up to the day? What have you learned about yourself?
That's good. Man, I've learned a lot, bro. Like I think one thing I will say, this has made me do more of a deeper dive into the things in myself, my core values, my purposes, my action plans, and it's actually made me sell out on the purposes that I have, the person that I am, the gifts that I feel God has blessed me with. Like I'm beyond sold out on them now. Like where before I could say I knew about them and I talked about it. I might got the books or took, like now, man, I got a library out of this world, and I train and I study. And what I love about what it's done for me is it has made me value my purpose and my time like I never did before. That if I can say anything that is done for me, those two things I can say is done for me. It's made me value my time and my purpose. Because hey, at the end of the day, we all gonna go. But when I look at my daughter's life in those 8 years, how she is still impacting people with her light and her love, it makes me want to do more with what I have and make sure that I birth everything that God has given me while I have this time.
Powerful, very powerful.
If I be transparent for a second, brother, what I learned in this moment within me, I'm a detriment under these circumstances. And I talk about a monster that I house, who I need to become acquainted with. I don't know his name. And he is well refined, well spoken, and he's action, not belligerent, not indignant. But I got to come acquainted with that because that I heard from your life path took me to a place where in 2020 where my brother was killed by a drunk. And when I got the call, first thing I grabbed is the 4-5. Because I know, hey, the person that lived in that situation is the person that did. My cousin calls me and says, hey, no, everybody's gone. Because of that misinformation, that saved me from going into another place. I wish I could have had the resolve that you had getting that phone call to say, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what we need to get done. Get off the phone with me. Save my child's life. I wish I could have that resolve, but I didn't. And even then, I see myself just really scrutinizing Cumberland County and that family to pieces because, again, we're talking a child, not just the child that is no longer here, but impacting the one that is still here. We don't know, even through all the outreach, outpouring of love, we don't know the halls of that baby's life to where it could go. And that's a battle when dealing with somebody you created and you did out of love. And you just, baby, I'm here. I love you. I love you. I love you. That thing to go into the soul, and that's where I get to that point of detriment that I know I still got a lot of work to do with me. And I thank you for that, bro. It's, because of that, I have that same kind of, hey, got to get it done. Got to get it done. I don't care if it takes me till 3 a.m. Got to get it done. Get some sleep. Get right back up at 5. Got to get it done. Because as you learn, when you get somebody that close, it ain't promised.
Hey man, we're gonna go ahead on and press right on through to this next segment. We got a whole full video. We're gonna let it play all the way through. I'm not gonna stop it at all, and then we're gonna wrap this interview up with Juan telling us everything that he wants us to do, helping his causes going forward and to keep everything alive. So we'll go ahead and play the video.
July 25th, I dropped my daughters off to this babysitter's house, and I went to work.
What's the address of the emergency?
Hey, I need a Mercedes drive, and I need an ambulance here now.
Okay, what's
my son I didn't know my son brought a gun home from my dad's house, and it fell out of the closet, and it shot the little girl that I'm babysitting.
Okay.
I need an ambulance now.
Okay, so we're going to get you help out there, okay? Is she breathing?
Yes. Please hurry.
Yes, ma'am, they're already coming,
oh,
okay?
God. Genesis, baby. Genesis.
So we're here, Mercedes Drive. I'm gonna go in and talk to the mom of the 11-year-old. We're in Fayetteville right now. We were all set up to interview the babysitter. Well, then she canceled. So I've been texting with her back and forth. She said I could come to the house, talk to her in person. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go talk to the mom of the 11-year-old. And even though she canceled earlier, hi, I'm Kristen. She agreed to talk to me on the porch about the day Genesis was shot.
Honestly, it's destroyed me. It destroyed my family. I'm in therapy, I'm in counseling. My son, he cries on a daily basis. Emotionally, it's messed him up bad too.
And so did you know the gun was here when Fawn dropped off his daughters?
No, absolutely not. I would never allow guns in my house.
How did your son, how did the 11-year-old have a gun?
Yeah, I didn't know it was in my house, and my father should have changed his gun safe code, period. Never should have been left the same. It should have been changed.
So your son stole the gun from your father's safe. He knew the code.
He said he figured the code out.
She said her father never changed the code from when he first bought the safe. Her son found out and stole the gun.
Like, if your child goes to a family member's house and they leave and they go for the weekend and they come back home and they have their same little bag that they had clothes in, I mean, you don't think to check their bags. I questioned myself and I said, why didn't I check their bag? Why didn't I do this different? Why didn't I do that different? I still question myself every single day on things that I could have done different.
Did you ever talk to your son about guns? Did you ever have a conversation with him about how dangerous they are?
I mean, I've talked to my kids, all of my kids, about safety, period. About guns, about knives, about anything.
This is that photo, and WREL has decided not to identify him. But if you look, what he's holding right there, clearly a gun in his hand.
Why do you think he did it? Why do you think your son took that gun?
I was told that his friends would think he was cool. My first response was, if your friends think you're cool because you have a gun, then you have the wrong type of friends at school.
You know, there are pictures of your son online with a gun. Tell me about that.
No, I never knew they were existed, and the pictures of my son holding a gun was a BB gun that my father had gotten for my son, and I had taken it from him. I begged the cops to take that BB gun out of my house, and they told me they couldn't.
Before the shooting?
No, after.
So tell me about your dad, that part of it. When it comes to holding someone accountable, like, who do you think should be held accountable?
I mean, he should have changed the safe code, period. I don't care if he's 70 years old. I don't care if he's 30 years old. He is a gun owner. He knows to change a code so nobody will know it.
She admits her son is to blame as well.
At the end of the day, like, if he never would have put his hands on that gun, this never would have happened. If he would not have went into the gun safe, this wouldn't have happened. So, I mean, there's so many things. Like, yes, he should have been charged with larceny of a firearm. Because he did. He knew better.
You knew Fawn for a long time, and I know you babysat the girls before. What do you want to say to the Dockery family?
I'm sorry. I would give anything to be able to go back and change that day. I would do anything to bring Jason back.
This story shows how many lives are forever changed by one senseless shooting death. That's why the babysitter even agreed to talk to me. And there are hundreds of these stories in North Carolina.
Right now at 6, a 6-month-old baby is at the UNC Medical Center after being shot.
An 11-year-old boy injured while sleeping after a home was sprayed with bullets.
After a 10-year-old boy accidentally shot his 1-year-old cousin.
There is support from both sides of the tragedy in Fayetteville, too. Moms like the babysitter, dads like Fawn, both saying proper safe storage could have saved Genesis and saved them all a lifetime of heartbreak.
I want to do something to promote gun safety. If you get a safe, change the code. Don't leave it the generic code as it comes. Store your ammunition and your guns in separate places.
Jenesis Dockery is a reason that safe gun ownership is required, because irresponsible gun ownership leads to events like this. That pure love, that type of love is how we unite this world, how we come together. Thank you, sir.
We were with the Dockery family when they returned to Genesis and Amara's school, Riverside Christian Academy in Fayetteville. Her family and friends are struggling with the 8-year-old's death.
But they allowed us to do a balloon release for Genesis. Dr. Sines, the principal, his idea was, hey, let's allow them to write a letter, their own little letter. Let's put it in a balloon and release it.
Here. Hold on to them. It's a windy day. Hold on.
This isn't just our loss. Y'all were friends with Genesis. Y'all made memories with Genesis. All right? On 3, we're gonna say, we love you, Genesis, and we're gonna let them go, all right? 1, 2, 3. Love you, Genesis. They don't even know it, but it's therapy to have those feelings and to release those feelings upwards. So we're seeing love for our daughter by these kids. It's hard going to see your child at a cemetery, knowing she did nothing wrong but be a child, knowing she loved so much, and that was taken from us.
Oh man! As soon as it was over, I think his. Can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. I was saying as soon as it was over, I think his stuff cut out, but he should click it and come right back in. I'm going on to get him out of the studio until he drop back in. But look, man, y'all feel free. Take a breather, release. Tell me what your thoughts. I just can't believe, like, when he just told me that the only thing the gentleman received was a year of probation and 2 larceny charges of stealing a weapon. What you got there?
I'm gonna go back to growing up with my brothers, right? We was in the streets, and guns became something they were infatuated with. The moment that my brother even decided to touch one, the neighborhood uncles, they got on him. I'm talking about whooped him. They whooped him. Like, you endangered so many people just by touching it. And it's like, I don't care if you knew the code. There was no fear that you're going to get in trouble for touching it. That's the thing. We sit up here trying to coddle children, coddle them. Like, oh, he just was curious, or no, you don't let that type of curiosity not have any repercussion or consequences. You knew what his passions were. So right then and there, take precaution. So yeah, you can't sit up here and say, yeah, he should have changed the code. Okay, you can say that. But he knew he can get away with it, or else he wouldn't have done it. My brothers, they shoot. When I say they got the bit out of them to never touch that, the fear in their heart to ever touch another one. I'm talking about how I grew up. It was normal to find one underneath the cushion. Okay? It was normal. And we had such a fear of touching it that we always act like it didn't even exist. So, like, y'all sit up here coddling him. Oh, I don't want to make him angry. I don't know what he's going to do, type of stuff. That's the problem. I believe consequences need to be had. Like, what happened to the fear? The respect. I don't want to just call it fear, but the respect for your parents' stuff. The respect for your mom. Respect for your grandpa. Just going through that stuff, rummaging through it, man. We used to scared to be touching anything. I never even went in my mama's room touching stuff. And you here getting a gun? Nah.
Go ahead, D.
I'd rather hear what Jackie got to say.
All right, Jackie. It's all on you. Welcome back, Fawn.
I just feel like you can't fix stupid. I personally feel like there was no gun safe. I don't think the gun was in a safe. I don't. I honestly don't. I feel like it was given to him. Because how? That's the only thing that makes sense. It had to have been given to him. And he was like, have fun with it, boy. Because obviously this whole story is just stupid. There was no gun safe. It was given to him. He was like, have fun with it. And so he did. That's the only thing that makes sense, even though it's stupid. There was no gun safe. There couldn't have been. You keep having this fetish of keep saying over and over again, fix the code of the gun safe, fix the code. Like, no, it was handed to him.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jack. I can't see it any other way either. That's why I falter the county for not doing their due diligence.
The first thing they're not going to fingerprint it because there wasn't one. And the first thing that came to mind was white privilege, and there had to be some sort of connection with the cops. I wasn't able to say it because it came out before I could talk about it, but that was the first thing that came to my mind. Like, and you didn't know there was a gun in there? Like, do you know how heavy a gun is? I don't believe any of that story. None of that adds up. None of it adds up at all.
So
And
she
somehow,
washed the
some way in this documentary, their face gets covered up. They get to be protected. We don't get to see who they are because we don't want to hurt their feelings because they've been through so much. Like, what?
Talk, Jackie, talk.
This whole thing gives me chills and it makes me cold and sick. It doesn't make any sense at all. It had to have been, though, that wherever he got it from, it was given to him.
And for him to have a reputation already.
And he knew how to pull the trigger. There was a safety on that gun. He was taught how to use it and given to him.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, look, while we got Fawn back real quick, let's go ahead on and get this this portion of the show out of the way so he can wrap it up for us. Hey, Fawn, can you hear me?
He's frozen.
He's frozen.
Nah, he ain't frozen.
There you go. Well, you start moving.
Fawn, can you hear me? Fawn, can you hear me? No? Hey, drop out and come right back in, bro. All right, when he get back in here, y'all, we're gonna go through these pictures he sent me. I know he got this flyer right here that he wants to talk about. Amara's adventures. He definitely want to talk about that, and I know, speaking for myself, but I think I can speak for everyone attached to the network that we're gonna do locally here everything that we can to shed light on what he has going on, the causes that he stands for. And he's coming back right now. He's coming back to the studio. We're gonna let him talk about these photos and the flyer. So that's the phone, Doc. What up, man? Welcome back. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right, so Fawn, I know we have. Let me see. Can I turn your mic up? All right, go ahead on and speak, brother.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. All right, so we have this flyer here. Tell us what we're looking at when we look at this flyer.
So a buddy of mine, close buddy of mine, author, motivational speaker, insurance owner, Calvin Baldwin. He came on early in our situation. I was introduced to him early in 2023, and then when I say stuck closer than a brother, I mean literally. And he wanted to come up with something to help Amara be able to deal with her grief in a childlike way, but also to be able to have her own spin, her own creative imagination, and something to look forward to and build of her own. So there's a dedication in the front of the book to Genesis. But the book is it has a chapter in there about a kid losing a fish. And I'm Captain Dockery in the book, and it just kind of shows how I talk with her about losing the fish and give a little life lesson in a childlike way, and then it just goes on to just creative adventures of a child and She now has merch. She's got dresses, shirts, sandals, book bags, socks, and she is the asset. Like, we got a team around us. Of course, the author. We're about to drop a second book, and she loves it. We push it because we want her to have something to look forward to that's her own. While there is a dedication to Genesis in there, this is about Amara and Amara growing through the pain that she has to deal with and blooming into the best version of herself in spite of what she's went through and going through mentally and emotionally. So that's what we're looking at here.
Oh man, 100. And I was just telling the team before you came back up, bro. Like, we're gonna do what we can. Anything that you ask us to do, if we can make it happen, bro, we're gonna make sure that we do what we can to help you out in your cause, you and your family. And I definitely will be getting with you behind the scenes, seeing whatever it is that you want us to do publicly here. At the end of this, you tell us what you need. You tell us, what you're currently working on, or anything that you need from us, man. We're gonna try to make it happen. Of course, this is the beautiful Miss Genesis, and this is you as well, out there doing your fight, rocking the what's that, Genesis Law.
That's the Live Like Genesis, Justice for Genesis hoodie.
Okay, Justice for Genesis, hashtag Genesis Law. Okay, and is your wife and the
Yep.
two girls?
Yep.
Matter of fact, man, listen, let's do it like this. I'm gonna do it just like this. Hold on 1 second. Hey, bro, go ahead on and talk to us about your wife. We didn't get a chance to really speak on her much. I know this has to be a pain point for you guys to keep reliving, but I think that you're doing it because you want to keep her name alive and keep the calls going to help out more families. So talk about your wife real quick. Tell us, exactly how she's doing right now and things of that nature.
So listen, man, I've seen my wife grow phenomenally through this, in ways that as my brother said earlier, I don't know that she would have in spite of this, and that's difficult to say, right? Because you don't want to believe that it takes something like this necessarily to make you bloom, but I'm seeing her address what she deals with moment to moment and still be a phenomenal wife and still be a phenomenal mother and still nurture the love for our family as the woman she should be. And bro, when I say stand by me, I mean I'm standing up because I know that I have somebody who I can be both emotional with, but that also believes in the purposes that is going forward through this. And listen, not to say that it's no one out there, but if it is no one out there, I know one thing. I know one person that's gonna stand with me. It might be in tears one day, it might be in smiles another, it might be a somber, straight face, but I know she's there, and I know she's there through everything that she's carrying. So my wife, she's working, man. She's back working. Um, I watch her relationship with my daughter, and I watch how she nurtures her and gives her the attention she still needs, in spite of having her moments and having her times. And I think and again, it's tough to say, right? But I think it's beautiful to see her still be that phenomenal wife and be that phenomenal mother and still be taking on her purposes in all of this in spite of everything that I get to see her deal with moment to moment every day. So whether I'm telling you, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without her. And she has been my backbone and is one of the main reasons that I'm able to do this with the amount of purpose and with the amount of dedication that she don't count as robbery. And again, if you got a significant other or you married, you know how jobs can take us away and how purposes we put our time, we put our dedication into building something, and that's what this is taking. That's what this is requiring, and she don't count it robbery. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed by her, man. I really am, to say the least.
Amen, brother. So everybody that's out there watching on YouTube or Facebook, if you come over here to YouTube, I dropped the link to this full documentary. I actually clipped it up and edited it to make it a shorter version. I think it's like 28 minutes long. There's a lot of information in there that I couldn't cram all into this segment because we were gonna have to talk as watching the documentary. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good,
Hey,
bro.
Fawn, you can hear me?
There we go.
Okay, we good. All right, cool.
What did
So,
you say?
Fawn, you can't hear me? Is your volume turned up on your phone?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. It's all good, buddy. Hey, we about to wrap this up anyway. Can you hear me now? Fawn, you can't hear me.
Vaughn, can you hear me though?
I can hear you.
Say
He's
one more
just
time,
talking.
D.
Okay, so what's happening now is we about to conclude it, and sometimes I think like the data or the Wi-Fi kind of disrupt certain things, but we really giving you your flowers, and really it's not a word that we can really express um from us over here at the TMAX Network, brother. Know that you are loved and supported by the brotherhood over here, which we have a standard called SIDBRO, which stands at success and successful things overall. And I want you to know that even as a man you've never met before, you got me in your corner. Um, Respect all respectable husbands that stand in the fight of it all, um, because it is it's not a task, it's a reward that comes with task in between, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that. Um, Given the position of a man and you having to deal with such tragedy and have to go in within self to check self first to make sure you keep the checks and balances to keep this going, and knowing that it's still not over because I still got one more precious baby to deal with, to make sure that she gets everything she needs from this situation, and not to have a neglecting situation because somebody else didn't do their due diligence in it. And I commend you on that so many levels, brother. Understand that when we get this offer here, every bit of information that I can get, I'm gonna go out and blast that because children are special to me, bro. They are. They I don't give a damn if they 1 month, 1 second to 100 years old. If you under me, you are a child and you are a gift. And I always try to remind them as much as they can because and what happens is as adults, we tend to forget how much life has an effect on them. And I hope somebody takes this and thinks like, oh shit, let me hug my baby a little bit more. Not just for the sake of I seen what happened, but for the sake of this is gonna be purposeful. Because it may not be my baby, it may be me. Let me be more intentful in saying, I love you, you're precious, you're a gift to me. You know, regardless of how the world sees you, I see you because you came from God, you know, and that stuff makes a big difference because that intentional living that you spoke about earlier, that a lot of people don't understand, is not just the intent, it's the act with the intention that follows behind it that is ensued to make sure that we get this law in place. You know, oh, you knocked it down one time, but we're not done. Revisions. Here we go. You can't tell me this. And what I really hope that they come to some kind of common sense of we got to do right. We have to do right. because now we are playing political games with people's lives. And the people at some point in time are going to realize we have the power and we are the masses. And we can do very much what Nepal had just did in a matter of 15 days. So pick your poison. Do it right. Don't have to worry about that. Take care of the people and the people will take care of you. But we can't we tend to get away from that. So again, brother, we thank you, bro. We really, really do thank you for coming to share um this aspect of your life, sharing your growth, and even allowing a transparent moment within myself, within your own circumstances to come to the forefront, man. I thank you so much, man. I pray that God bless you a million plus fold. You mean? And I want it to be all glorifying blessings. I might be stingy in this moment, but that's what I really want for you because it is deserving in my eyes. And I pray that God see.
All right, man. Hey, Jackie, any lasting positive words you want to drop on the phone before we get up out of here?
Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this with you. Sorry we had to meet in this circumstance, but nice to meet you. And I am truly sorry for your loss.
Amen. All right, fine, man. We're gonna do it like this, bro. You're gonna have the last word. I ain't even gonna say TMAX Network out like I normally do. I'm gonna put you on the big screen, man. When you done talking, bro, I want you to tell everybody how they can reach you if they want to contribute to the causes that you have going on. Justice for Genesis and purposeful but painful but purpose. If I messed that up, man, I apologize, but I want you to be the last one to talk about it. Okay, so the floor is yours, sir.
So we have the Live Like Genesis project. We are on Facebook and Instagram, and we're about to drop the online website for the Live Like Genesis project coming up 26, probably before 26. But we had, Mars Adventures, www.adventureswithamara.com. You can find her merch, the books, anything pertaining to that. And for supporting us, I just tell people to share what you see, man. If we could get together personally, I can tell you kind of where we are and what we're working on in the moment, because I'm doing so many things on a community level, as much as at the legislature, to continue to fight for transparency from law enforcement, so situations don't happen like what we're going through right now. Um, I'm also on social media under my name, Fon Dockery, on TikTok under that name, Fon Dockery. I got the series Painful But Possible, where I talk about grief, and I'm actually a certified grief coach, and I'm gonna drop all of that in my own separate personal website. Coming 26, I've already built that out. But hey, we're continuing to work and to build and shine the light of the life of Genesis through purpose, through change, and not just reflection, but also actions going forward. So you can visit any one of those sites on social media to find us until we drop the regular websites, and they're coming soon. But that's the way you can support us. We got a pageant coming up actually next month, November 15th, and I'll drop another advertisement for that. A shimmering Miss North Carolina Genesis Memorial Pageant. Where again, something else to allow other kids to come forward. And as we reflect on the light in the life of Genesis, we're going to build that out into a state pageant where we're going to give away scholarships to other kids also. And that's something else we're working on in the background, man. We're continuing to keep our hands busy with productive positive, purposeful stuff because we believe that is one part of the things that are going to come forth from all of this pain and all of this loss. The light of love, of power, and of purpose. That's it, man.
Man, Fawn, I appreciate you so much for coming by. I won't even hold you, bro. Like, this has been truly
I
a
want to thank
blessing for
TMAX
all
too.
of us here.
TMAX, I
And
want to thank y'all for the opportunity to speak on the situation, for your support. Man, I can't say that there ain't been a time where I looked around and didn't see TMAX on my back. So at the end of the day, man, I really appreciate y'all support and this opportunity to speak with y'all, man. I look forward to many more going forward.
yes, sir, absolutely. And that was going to be one of the things I said. Taking us out is the fact that, like I said, bro, this is literally has always been and still will be going forward a home for you to come, plug anything that you're doing. We're small now. Hopefully we get to a point to where we're big enough to really make an impact when you come over here and share it. But while we're small, when we're big, this is your spot as well as ours. This is my right-hand man, D Awesome One, bro. He out of San Antonio, Texas. And, man, yo, good brotherhood. Hey, I'm gonna give you something because it just hit me right there. We got a segment that we call Sit Bro. And for this segment, we're talking to men. Okay. That's why I opened up the conversation earlier about, bro, it takes a strong man not only to lead a household, but definitely to go through something like you went through and still going through to this day, to step up to another echelon and another echelon higher, to lead your family, to love on your wife and your daughter, to keep Genesis' name alive. And my granddaughter, just born in August, her name is Genesis, and that's something that I hadn't told you about. Hers is spelled with a G. Your Genesis is with a J. But to be a man of that stature and going through what you've gone through, but like you said, it changed something in you to make you live on purpose and make you value time. Bro, anytime that you can come over and drop some words on our group of men. It's called Sit Bro, and Sit Bro stands for Success is the Best Revenge Overall. We have these conversations. We started in the back. We used to have them once a week. Now I think we're going to take it down to maybe like once a month to get it ramped back up until we can get more fellows to lock in. But whenever you have something going on, Fawn, you let us know. We're going to bring as many people as we can, either virtually or in person. All right, bro? Fawn, can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. D, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Fine. Can you hear me?
Nah, I don't think he can hear none of us.
That's the thing, moving.
Yeah, he moving. Well, hey, look, Vaughn, we're gonna go ahead on and tap out, bro, and we're gonna touch bases with you later on. All right. All right. We out.